My name is Shandor. I'm coming from Switzerland and I'm a software engineer by trade. In Zurich, I remember many years ago, it was in the 70s, I was sitting and waiting for the doctor, and there was a illustrated magazine which I took up and started to read in it. And guess what? That was a talk about a wonder child from Holland. And I was reading it, and it was 6-7 pages, wonderful stories about this child, and I was totally touched. I wish to meet this person in life. The remembering went with me on and on for weeks, and look at that. I emigrated to Canada, settled in British Columbia, and one day I'm going to a meeting which Her Holiness has held, Hehpsehboah. There I'm sitting, and you should never wish anything in your life except good things, and it had a good luck, because that child in that illustrated magazine stood now as an adult woman in full power of her senses, and took and hold a conference, a meeting with people, telling them about healings, telling them about the global problems which we are facing. And she knew things ahead which happened since I met her, since 2.5 years. Things which you said came basically as it was. She's a prophet with a very high accuracy. I am touched, and I'm very happy to have her.
Hi, this is Brent from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and I'd just like to say a few words about Her Holiness and my experience in dealing with a kind and gentle soul who has helped me through some particularly interesting times in my life, and how going through those times I have reached a certain level of spirituality in my life that I've not had at any time in my life. And some of that revolves around her wonderful teachings, and in particular I've had the pleasure and the honor of learning what is called giving of light, part of healing, and not only giving but the receiving, and how that's changed my life and the life of some of the others that I've been involved with and had the honor of being able to give light to, and how that has changed me as a person and made me more aware of my spirituality and myself and those around me, and it's brought a sense of peace and made me feel a more whole person for it. And I can't thank enough Her Holiness for bringing me to this point of my life and giving me a chance to experience some of those things that I was never aware of, and would certainly recommend to anybody who has an interest in improving themselves and their lives and wanting to help those around them to have that experience for themselves and be a part of the wonderful things that she has to teach.
Hi, I'm Leslie from BC, Canada, and I just wanted to let you know that I've done my rounds in the New Age community, meeting many people on the way, and it wasn't until I had actually had the privilege of meeting Her Holiness and benefiting from her teachings that I really realized that I really don't know that much. And what I have learned from her is so tremendously powerful and empowering, and beyond anything that I have ever encountered. After reading many books out there, I'm sure many of you have out there as well, and still feeling quite confused, coming to Her Holiness just opened me to a whole new level of spiritual understanding. She is such a kind and caring being who just helps everybody she comes in contact with. The most important thing that she gives us is that she raises us up into our own empowerment. As well as experiencing that, I have watched her prophecies over many years, and I know the accuracy of them. I've also been very lucky enough to have been the recipient of her healings, and I'm just truly blessed to have met her and learned so much from her and received her energies.
This is Greg in the United States, and since finding Her Holiness Hehpsehboah's radio show, Eye on the Future, it's really opened up my eyes a lot to old things that maybe I had either been told earlier in my life that her and her radio show guest confirmed, or most of the time it's just new information, or a new way of looking at things that just opened my eyes toward, I don't know, a more spiritual or uplifting sort of a way of looking at the world. She's just given me a whole new way of thinking about things, or helped me develop into that. The information from the show and from her prophecies has just been amazing. Especially the way watching the prophecies come about, some of the ones that I've seen happen. It's really exciting when that happens. And information from the radio program, of course, is always helpful. And it's just been a nice several years having been in contact with the radio program. Great show, and she's a wonderful, wonderful person.
I'm Kay from Canada. I'm one of the people who have had the best of all chances in knowing and learning from Her Holiness, as I've volunteered here for almost 12 years now. When I was first invited to join her spiritual development and meditation group, I got so excited so quickly because what I started to learn and experience was far beyond anything I could have imagined. From being given tremendous evidence of life after life, to learning to communicate with those in the other world and develop my spiritual sensitivities and abilities, to being taught very powerful spiritual healing. I can't imagine anymore how little I knew before I came, because my awareness has changed so much since then. And it's not just me. There's so many who comment on how all their previous experience attending meditation classes and all kinds of courses is completely dwarfed by what they learn from Her Holiness. What she brings is so clear and precise. And she's a spiritual leader who's actually a doer. I've watched this great soul work 20-hour days regularly, helping everyone from street kids to battered women to drug addicts, even to murderers, and to all the people she reaches through her radio show and talks. She fights for the underdog, and she's not afraid to expose corruption and injustice. She doesn't complain even when her life has been put at risk, and that has happened often. She just keeps going, and she has such love and compassion for people. And when you talk about miracles, the ones you witness from Her Holiness are undeniable. So many have experienced miraculous healings from her. In my own family, I've had 2 siblings who greatly benefited from her, including a sister who had a lump on her breast mysteriously dissolved the night before surgery, after I had said how concerned I was for her. A good friend from childhood had been through the worst of the worst from the medical community treating her cancer, and when they wrote her off as being terminal, I got very, very upset. And Her Holiness knew I was upset and told me not to worry anymore, and that's it, that's all she said. She was 1,000 kilometers away from my friend. But about 10 days later, I was speaking with my friend, who had just arrived back from her doctor's office, and had been told that the latest test showed that all the cancer spots on her lungs had miraculously disappeared, and that she was in remission. I knew what had happened, and I was so very thankful. I know, too, that my elderly parents have received ongoing, unseen healing that has helped greatly in their longevity and quality of life. There are so many who've been written off by the medical community who are alive and well today because of her. Yet Her Holiness is forever humble. She never grandstands with her abilities. And I've been witness to so much and know so many others who have too. I can also confirm the absolutely astounding accuracy of her prophecies, as I've watched them on a daily basis over all these years. We're so lucky to have her on this planet, and I thank Her Holiness so very much for all the blessings she's brought in my life and in the lives of those around me. She's the real McCoy, a true divine living prophet, and with the times that are coming, we're going to need her